Hello everyone, I've just seen the Sonic Forces world premiere gameplay from IGN first, and there were a couple things, but if I'm going to be 100% honest, in my opinion the trailer could have been better. Now, I understand that we were only shown a portion of the game and what it has to offer because we're going to be slowly fed this content across the course of the month. But with that said, I still feel as if what we saw in terms of exploration left a lot to be desired. Now, I've played Breath of the Wild to completion and more, and I really enjoyed that game. As a result, I can see a lot of things from Breath of the Wild here. Sonic has a climbing mode, which is separate from running up walls, and it seems to function in a similar way, except he's not registered by a stamina meter, he just climbs. In fact, speaking of stamina, Sonic in any part doesn't appear to have any stamina system, so he just does whatever it is he needs to do. I'm not going to say it was terrible, right? And again, I know we haven't seen anything, but the world did seem a bit empty, especially in terms of enemies or activities to perform. We did see some puzzles, but we didn't see what they were accomplishing. And we did see some enemies, but they were bypassed because clearly that wasn't the focus of this video. Although that does bring up a concern of, since we did see the enemies, is this how many enemies we should expect? If we didn't see a single enemy, I would have assumed they just removed them from the map for the point of this presentation. But the fact that there were some present does lead me to believe that potentially that is the amount of enemies populating the area. If so, then that's pretty rough. The whole world just felt like an Unreal sort of asset. You've all seen the Unreal type of projects where they just have grassy hills and trees. And I'm not saying that these hills and trees look bad. I think the graphics are fine. That's not what I'm saying. The feeling it gave off, though, was someone went into Unreal, generated some grassy terrain, and then inserted a bunch of Sonic objects throughout it, like the springs and the rails. I've seen a bunch of complaints about the rails seemingly suspended in the air. That isn't a first for Sonic. I guess it just looks a bit weirder now since it's coming from an open world perspective. But this, you know, what was it? Rail Canyon in Sonic Heroes was a canyon filled with rails. Some of them were connected and some of them weren't. So I'm not going to make a huge deal out of that. Sonic himself, I was uncertain about it last time. Now I'm very certain that this is based off his Forces incarnation, both in terms of appearance and moveset, which is a little bit worrying. We didn't see any of the combat maneuvers, so we still don't quite understand the full extent of what Sonic's capable of, but it is clear he has some sort of 06 style boost that you activate in bursts. Again, it's hard to say anything too precise on this, but I'm a little bit worried that the game itself is just going to be a sort of running simulator. The combat, based on the previous trailer, maybe it's a bit button mashy. It was hard to say. Maybe we have combo trees. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to see the worst in it, but I'm also not going to pretend that there's more to it than there actually is. In fact, there were some problems too. There was points in this trailer cutscene, not cutscene, but this footage, where Sonic goes through a trick ring, and he does what I have to assume are tricks, because it looked very reminiscent of Sonic Generations tricks, but the sound was off, and there was no visual feedback, and it didn't seem to have any purpose. It looked really strange and really unfinished. And unfinished is the vibe this whole thing gives off, and I know that the game isn't out yet, and it's coming out later this year. But people especially when it comes to Sonic, seem to really overestimate how easy it is to make big mechanical changes to a game in half a year. It's not that simple when it's something core to the game. Now with the tricks, yes, they could add the effects, they could add the sounds, and it could feed into something. So the tricks, that could very well be addressed. But just because this game is not released yet doesn't mean any issue someone has is going to be fixed. Not by a long shot. And people should understand this by now after Forces and all of the, oh, they'll fix that in the final game, and they didn't. So we gotta just be a bit more intelligent about how we judge it. Yes, some things definitely can be addressed, but not everything will be, and it's hard to say which goes where. Oh, really, I feel like I just want to see Shadow playable, and then I can play through the story without doing grinding missions, because that's another worry. What if the story missions are separated by a bunch of tasks you have to perform first? A bit like medal collecting, I guess, which I also didn't like. I would just want to play Shadow, play through the story. Hopefully there's a Chow Garden, and then I'll just chill out in the Chow Garden and replay story missions for money. I don't know. That's kind of my hope right now. Or the gameplay trailer that they next show, which is hopefully combat, could win me over. Or a story trailer, anything. This one just felt like here is a Unreal world with Sonic assets, and he can run around, and some of the things don't look quite finished. And yeah, that's just the game. There were some coins Sonic collected on a tower that looked as if they might have had the Chow head as an icon engraved on them. And there were leaks talking about Chow being in this game. There were also leaks talking about how Sonic was going to take a lot from Breath of the Wild, such as these core rock creatures that you could collect for rewards. And we do see and hear some rock creatures hopping about when Sonic's on the hamster wheel. So that's just another thing that leads me to believe that those leaks in particular may have been true. I don't know. It's really hard to say any more than this. I just wanted to air my thoughts. I'm going to wait for more information, but the last teaser we had me feeling more positive, and this one, yeah, now I'm not so sure. How about you guys? Is this winning you over? Are you still going to wait for information like I am, or is this a done deal already? Please let me know in the comments below, but remember that people are going to have different opinions, and there's no point in trying to fight over whose opinion is right, because we're going to find out over the next few months anyway. You may like or not like something, but someone else can have a different opinion, and that's fine. Anyway, this was my opinion. Pretty neutral. Again, I'm not going to hope or dismay anything until we get more information. I hope I'll see you again some other time. This is the Mighty Emperor, signing off.